Welcome to my very first YouTube video, and in this video is going to be a guide to my favourite game at the moment, Lionhearts Crusade on Roblox. It's very fun, and I'm trying to grow my faction, the one I chose to join, as it's just fun, and we're at war, so it's a good time to join as well. So if you get the game, this is where you'll start. When you actually get into the game, you'll start right here outside this house. From there, you can do the tutorial. I'd recommend it if no one's here to teach you as soon as you get the game. But there are a few points where the tutorial breaks. If any of them happen, you should run all the way from here to the most northern point of Malta. So I'll quickly open the map. Well, the most northern point you can go without doing the missions is the northern docks. So this is where you're going to want to head. As I said, you want to come here and you want to run straight to this physical boat. You want to ignore the harbour master unless you're trying to get to Messina for some reason, and you want to run straight to this physical boat where it'll lock your camera, as you can see, and it will teleport you to Jerusalem. Okay, when you're in Jerusalem, this is where the game really actually starts. This is where you get to the game. The whole tutorial, it's nothing like the actual game. It's very basic, like baby steps for the game, like how you fight, how you craft. So when you get here, this is where you craft and smelt and all that. This is Embassy Row, which I'll get to in a second. But then at the other end, there's another little shop, as you can see, and that is where you make potions and such. See, little potion icon. God, sorry, I'm a bit tired. This is the potion shop. This is where you make you brew. I say potions, gosh, tonics, like medicine, basically. You brew them in here. Now to Embassy Row. Embassy Row is where you see all the factions in the game. So you want to join the Knights Templars, they are on Embassy Row. Everyone's on here. And they're also done in power. Now the people are at the wrong door, so the Abbasid is not the strongest. The assassins are the strongest. That symbol's the assassin symbol. That's the French. I think that's Holy Roman Empire. The next one along is Cyprus. Then my ally England. The Eastern Roman Empire, not the Holy Roman Empire, or the Byzantine. Not sure on that blue one. This one is Antonich. I think they're kind of like France, but like less powerful. This is Kingdom of Jerusalem, mine. I'm a higher rank version of this guy, as you can see. I do still have those clothes, however. This is what you will look like when you join the game, by the way. When you join a faction, you will have the most basic form of their armor. Kingdom of Jerusalem's is this. This is the Abbasid, I believe. This is another one like the Abbasid. Same with that one. I think that's the Ayyubid, though. This is the Templar, really low on the leaderboard as we just beat them in a war. Imagine. These are the Teutonic Knights. We also just beat them in a war. They lost a war, unfortunately, to Cyprus. Cyprus's allies are quite big, I think. And then this is, I don't even know, Sicily. Oh, they're allies with the Hospitaller, who are at the bottom. They were allied, and they both fell together. So yeah, that's Embassy Row. I only really didn't know a few. But yes, the factions, those are the only factions in the game. There are clans, but the clans have a limit, and they're often basically just mercenaries. It kind of, nobody really likes, the Pendragons. Who likes them? They kept invading us, and we kept winning, but didn't stop them from trying. But yeah, the reason the clans aren't good is you can never take a city like that is Jerusalem's flag, right there and up there and everywhere, because Jerusalem currently owns Jerusalem. You can't do that if you're a clan. So if you if you want a city, you're better off choosing a weakish faction and rising up the ranks till you're at the top, and then becoming the king, and then fixing it. But I wouldn't go off who's the weakest at the moment, because who's the weakest at the moment aren't actually that bad. They just picked fights with people bigger than them, so it was like really daft for them to do such a thing. But yeah, that's a basic layout to how all the different factions you can join. Once you're in each faction as well, there are divisions. And the divisions are weapon based. So if I go factions, this is how you'll find it. You'll go factions. These are the top factions. You probably want to go power rank. Say you join the Templars, for example. Actually, well, say you join us, because I can't use the Templars. Say you join the Jerusalem. You click on theirs, wherever it is on the leaderboard. You go divisions. And then you can join the House of Ibelin. They're the long-ranged units. Galley, you won't be able to join them when you're new, unless the person who recruits you says so. They're like very special, very prestigious. You won't just be let in. This is the Count of Tripoli. They're basically the Royal Guard, but they use heavy weapons, like this hammer that I've got, for example. Although I'm not in them yet. And then this is OHS, Order of the Holy Sepulchre. Those are those are the light weapons with shields. And the reason I say with shields is because Ibelin can also use light weapons, but they don't have shields, they have bows. Because you can't have a shield and a bow. So those are the 4 divisions of Jerusalem. I don't know what the others would be for. Let's just use England as an example. See, the English vassal, the Templars. Oh, you can. The Lordship of Ireland, the Duchy of Aquitaine, the Duchy of Normandy. That makes sense. King Richard. The game's named after him, by the way, Lionhearts Crusade. He was the Duke of Normandy. Don't know why it says Duchy. I mean, unless I can't speak and that says Duke. But he was the Duke of Normandy. And the Earl of Cornwall. Ooh, I'm being Cornwall. Very nice place. But yeah, so those are the divisions. I'm not sure which one used what weapon in England. I just know they exist. I know they have more players than Jerusalem, or at least in the English time zone they do, obviously. But yeah, that's a quick rundown to how the divisions work. Now I'm going to explain how the shops work and the whole market system. So there's 2 currencies in this game, silver and gold. Silver can only be used at these silver markets, nowhere else. They all NPC ran, and they only sell up to the best steel weapons, I think. I believe steel is as far as they go. We can look. No, cast iron. Cast iron is the best they go. I do believe, yeah. Cast iron is by far the best they do. I've got war iron. It's nowhere near as good. I really do need it. But, I mean, I'm on a budget, okay? I'm not exactly rich. But that, all a basic version of everything can be bought at the silver market, as well as useless stuff like very basic cosmetics. Like, there's like jester outfits, not the hat though. Just the outfit bit, civilian outfits. And some similar to what I've got now. This isn't actually a faction robe, anybody can have this. It is called the Western Warrior. It's a reward track for the PvE, which I'll explain later. But then over here, all these small markets is player ran, and the currency players use is gold. So, say I want to buy something here, I don't know if there'd be anything for sale. Let's say this wood shield. There's 0 sellers available, so I can't really show. But say you want to sell something, say you have 5, you put 5 there. Wait, why is it actually taking 1? I don't have any. Oh well. You put however many you want to sell there. You put the price and you put sell. Then somebody can see, it'll say amount available 1, and it'll say the lowest selling price, and it'll say who's selling it there and for what price. That was the most recent one bought. And then you put in the price and you click buy, and boom, you will have it. then you will have the item. That is how the shop works. That is for all of these. But the shops are individual, so that's shields, as you can see. That's tonics, like healing tonics and that. This is stuff you use to make tonics or just to eat, which is kind of useless. Those are like, yeah, just reward XP vouchers. They're kind of useless. You get them from your daily reward. Tools, very basic tools: torches, axe, pickaxe. That's what you get there. Bro, I'm yawning again. Crazy work. But yeah, that is how the market system works in the game. The money stays within players. It never goes away. In fact, it infinitely generates. So inflation in this game is infinite. Or is it deflation? No, it's inflation. Infinite inflation, very pog. But nobody adjusts for inflation. So, no, it don't really matter. The other way you can use gold, other than buying that, is by buying a house. Now, the cheapest house cost 1,000. And then I think it's just like add 1,000 for the next one, add 1,000 for the next one. But there's no real need. There's kind of a need for like multiple houses, like depending on what you want to do. Say you want to mine a lot, but I'll explain that also a bit later. So this is my house. It will cost 1,000. It's a very cheap house. It's a very good house. It's in Jerusalem. It's now the thing with houses is they come with lots of free storage. With the house, you get 8,000 storage with the house. So that is a lot. That is very, very good, because the only other free storage in the whole game is opposite the silver market, the other side of the arena, and it only gives you 500. So you can't store much. So I come over here quickly. Let me jump. Yeah, this is the other free storage. This does give you a very limited amount though. See, 500. Now, I haven't actually used it. But, I mean, I don't do much mining. I'm not really the miner. Or a miner. A miner. No, sorry. But yeah, that is the storage. Then, other than that, there's nothing really more useful in Jerusalem. There's the arena, where you can practice against anyone. As you can see, there's an assassin, probably one of the best in the game, stood in the middle. As the assassin's the best faction. See, will he kill me? Don't look it. Yeah, but this is a really good place to learn, just because there's always people here fighting, or at least 90% of the time. Depends what time zone you are. I'm currently playing during UK school time, which means there's not... Sorry about that, got distracted. Which means there's not that many people, but as soon as school ends in Europe, so about like an hour and a half. Oh yeah, there's weight in this game. If you carry too much of something heavy, you go really slow. Yeah, that's one of the most common ores that they ran out of, so I guess they need a lot of it to restock. Look at them go. Anyway, sorry, yeah, there's a weight system. Sorry, I can't type while talking. It's like distracting. What was that noise? I think someone's got a crossbow. Oh, so I thought they were, for some reason I thought the symbol above their head was OHS. But yes, that is the very basics of the trading and the Jerusalem, basically. I can't think of anything else in Jerusalem. There's Embassy Row. I mean, the next most important thing is inside of each of these Embassy Row slots, It's like very not really important. If you go in your faction's door and you click on your painting, you can travel to your faction's capital, which ours is Ascalon. Jerusalem can't be a capital. I actually think we're going to do that. We're going to go to Ascalon, and I'm going to explain the combat. Yeah, that'll probably be cut out of the video, so I can say whatever I want. Oh. Okay, so when you get to your capital, there are more quests you can do, like an NPC will try train you. For Jerusalem, that's called Sanctity and Shadows. I mean Ascalon, sorry. You have to be in a faction to do that quest, though. That's if you talk to the NPC. But when you are at these places, this is where you need to protect this, basically. This is kind of like your faction's life. If you lose this place, so in a siege, if the enemy takes it from you, and they manage to defend it from you for 3 real-life days, then you lose it and you no longer own it. And then that's it. You've lost the place. There's nothing you can do about it. You get vassaled, which is like where, you know how if I show one quickly. If I find Kingdom of England, vassals the Knights Templar. So that means that the Kingdom of England took the Knights Templars' capital, which is Kerak, and because they held it for 3 real-life days, because of our leaders and England's leaders' great tacticianing, making it impossible for them to, we've taken it, and they pay us, basically. They pay England. So when you buy a house in land that belongs to your faction, so say you're English and you buy a house in Jaffa, the English capital in this game, you don't pay tax. But everybody who's bought a house in Kerak now pays tax to England. So we're taking money from them. Basically, we're taking money out of them and putting it in the English king's pockets. So yeah, you really want to keep your capital. It keeps like your people happy because it's like cheap. It stops them from being able to rebel, and they're normally relatively good to defend, and like they're normally okay. This one's a hard one because of its size. Like I think in a lot of war we lost it and then we took it back. It's easier to take Ascalon probably than it is to defend it. I mean, number one, it's got these ladders going up all the walls. Like, who thought of that? But yes, so that's how a siege works. But in order to perform a siege, you have to do road battles. Is what they're called. Everybody calls them RB. So if you see someone say RB, it's just because it's they're on about a road battle. It's like RB in 30 minutes. Start logging on. Get ready to like fight. Anyway, so yeah, these RBs take place outside of the cities. So you're going to you'll go through those gates and it'll take you outside the city, southern Levant. That is the Jerusalem region. That is the area around Jerusalem and Ascalon. There's 4 regions. There's Sicily, southern Levant, northern Levant, central Levant. If you join Kingdom of Jerusalem, it's very rare you'll go in northern Levant. I think I've played this game for 3 months. I'm a high rank, and I've never been northern. I mean, you can if you want, but it's never been needed, really. It's not really a necessary thing. Tired me. Okay, here we are. Now this is, when you leave a portal that's next to your city, it'll put you definitely in your territory. So Castelleria and Beroa. Now, the way this game works is, the battles that take place out here are in a secondary server called the Conquest server. So the way you switch is you go General, Conquest, yes. And it'll say this. I'm going to say no just because I can be killed there. Don't want to do that right now. So these places that you'll defend, they'll have NPC guards. Like here's one. He actually has a better hammer than me. Because I'm a high rank, he said good day, sir, instead of just like hello or whatever. But yeah, these guards guard the place, and if in a conquest server, if you walk past this, if you walk past this place and you don't own it, they'll attack you. But as we're not in conquest and they are part of my faction, I don't have to worry about that. Now in the battles, the main goal is to protect the flag of wherever the enemy is going for. If this flag is lowered and then re-raised fully as theirs, that lock symbol locks for and says 30 minutes. And that means there's nothing you can do for 30 minutes. And the battles only last 2 hours, and it takes like 5 minutes to get a flag to go down and up while no one's here stopping you, roughly. So, actually that's based off how many people you have. If you have a large group, like say like 8, it won't take that long at all, especially if you kill all the guards. But those are the battles, except you can only take places next to one you already own. So for example, say I own this, I can't then go, right, say I only own this place, I can't then go, right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack Castelleria and Berevium. Beverium, I don't know. Old, not English word. That's how that works. Those are the battles basically. You move from point to point in like a swarm of players, taking them. The next one you'll need if you're trying to attack or defend Ascalon is Ibelin. This is this place. There's a whole faction based off of it. The Ibelin I mentioned. Now this isn't. I don't think it's to scale. But this is Ibelin. The guards. This one is easier to defend as it does have walls. Now, however, there is a little thing. You may think that you're safe in Ibelin because all the land around it isn't owned by you. But Ibelin, as well as a few others, but mainly Ibelin is what you'll have to worry about, is a port city. So they'll spawn on the dock. And you'll have to fight them from the sea. Oh yeah, this place is a bit glitched. There's no ocean. But anyway, they'll spawn on here and they'll run for the flag, and it's a lot easier to attack that way. So normally, if a battle is far away and you own this land, you have someone stay here and say, oh, they've turned up. We had that in a battle. They sent one guy to see if this place was empty, and luckily the person we had stationed here saw them, and I turned up with one other, and we scared them off, and then we went back to fighting, and the guards stayed here. Because being back-capped, that's what they call it when you get captured from behind you as well as another side. Very, very bad unless you plan it, because it can be good. Oh, oopsie, what the hell. But yeah, that's a basic guide to the battles. So then from Ibelin, you can like kind of split off into different places. You can go to Akir, or you can, I think, go north. I don't think. No, that's Jaffa. That's English territory. You can't go north. You do have to go to Akir. So Akir is this way. Over there. Now this will, of course, vary on where you are in the game. Say you're in northern Levant, for example, and you're nowhere near here. It won't be quite this simple. There might be like 3 different directions you can go and be attacked from, but not for Jerusalem, which is very lucky. So yeah, here is Jerusalem's other outpost, Akir. This one, there was a massive battle here. We were defending it, and I think 30 people came over the hill in a shield wall, and we like scrambled. In the shield wall, it was the first time I've ever seen it used. I was a crossbowman at the time. I was up in this tower, and I just heard like, oh, they're coming over. I was like, oh, they're coming over that hill, because I saw one of them, and then the rest of the men, they kind of, once me and this other archer clarified which hill we meant, and we meant that way. So our men got ready looking that way, and then they came over in a shield wall. Never done tactic. because crossbows, they're kind of new to the game. They are quite possibly, I don't have mine on me, the most deadly weapon. They can one-shot by like from miles away as well. There's nothing you can do about it. So they had a shield wall to prevent it because we had 2 crossbowmen ready. So we could have killed 2 of them instantly if they just charged over. But yeah, that's basically how the battles work. In the battles, you do have 15 lives though. And the battles are on a 15-hour rotation. So let me quickly explain that actually. You have 15 lives in a battle. And when you die in a battle, say in Southern Levant, you can go up. Central Levant, yes. And you can teleport to somewhere in here and start fighting there. Very rare that happens unless you're like up against a pretty much equal enemy. If we do conquest on, these flags show you where you own. They don't appear on cities unless it's your capital. If I do, if I actually do chronicle, this shows you where you're supposed to own. Yeah, it shows you where you're supposed to own. Sorry, I thought Jerusalem was supposed to be owned by them then. That's not right. So look, the Abbasids are supposed to own here, the north. England is supposed to own here and some of a different region. Jerusalem owns all this. England owns all this. Now, the reason that it's so weirdly scattered between us and our allies is we broke free of vassalization, which put us at a temporary peace with our enemy that we couldn't stop. However, it didn't put England, our ally, at peace. So we let England take our land, took it all behind them, except this little place. And then England kept sieging their castle repeatedly, and there was nothing they could do about it. Because if they did fight back, they'd get stuck at us. We kind of create like a border. If I turn on territories, you might see what I mean. Like, can you see that very faint line? England owns that, and that's the city itself. Then we own this. So they would need to come through us to do it. And then the reason England owns this as well is because when they take it, the territory that belonged to them becomes theirs, which is actually why they own this. We're not at war with the Holy Roman Empire. Never have been. Or at least not since I've started playing. That's actually a bit concerning. Never mind. But I don't really know. But yes, that's how the battles work. The next battle is in 4 hours. No, 5 hours. They are on a 14-hour rotation thing. So 14 hours after one starts, the next one starts. And they last 2 hours. So really, the battle is 2 hours. And then there's 12 hours till the next one, after that one ends. So at this point the audio cut out. I'm just going to talk over the video. So there's 4 directions in the combat. You attack from the side that your mouse is more towards, as you can see. I've got my friend, he's another Jerusalemite in front of me. You can attack the 4 sides, you can block the 4 sides like I'm doing now. Block is blue, attack is red. Now the good thing about the shield is it blocks all 4 directions at once. So it doesn't matter which way it looks like they're blocking the shield, I can't attack them. Boom. The hammer breaks block, so that's what that is. Now, if you watch, I'll attack from above. And he will... I'll attack from above, and he'll block with only his spear, no shield. So as you can see, the shield goes above his head. Okay, well, that time he missed. And it blocks. Now, there is a glitch with blocking, where it means you can't block. The only way to fix it is to block someone else. No, parry someone else. Very weird glitch. And that's a basic rundown of how the combat works. So, that is it for my first YouTube video ever. If you like the look of the game, please get it. It's not my game. It's a guy called Myth's game. He's working on a better game at the moment, like a more realistic, not associated with Roblox version of this, where it's going to be bigger, better, and on a different platform. And it sounds very, very cool. I'm excited for it, and I'm sure they'd appreciate you buying the game. It is 80 Robux, so if you're English, that's about £1. If you're not, it's probably less, to be honest, based off the currency rates. But yeah, do get the game. If you just choose to get the game, please join Kingdom of Jerusalem. We're kind of weak at the moment, but I'm going to recruit enough to bring us back under our new king's rule. He's a very good king. His name's Cobra. He plays the game. Well, that's not his actual name, of course, but anyway, yeah, if you like the look of the game, get it, please, and join us, because we are the best faction. And then also, please like and subscribe on my first video, because I said so, please. Look at this beautiful face. Look at this. Oh yeah, I'm in the royal family, so I have to have grey hair. Don't bully me. Please. Please, please, please. Please.